Hey, so I'm going to walk through what it takes to put together uh, the automation so that your lead source original field populates from your first source when a record is created. So when a lead or a contact record is created, it should always have a lead source in there. They came in there somehow through some kind of form or event or whatever the case may be, and you need to log that. Uh, but when they first come in, you also want to log what that first source was. So we do that with a different field. So it's not complicated to set up. You just have a workflow rule that will write the first value over. So here's what it looks like. So you'll go to setup, and if you come into the quick find and do a workflow, type workflow, you'll see this workflow rules. Okay. And I've already created one here, so we'll be able to click in and show it to you. But what you'll be wanting to do is you'll create a workflow rule, and then you'll have a field update that's tied to it. So if I click into this workflow rule, you'll see that it has the rule criteria here. And I'll even get into the edit window. This is what it looks like when you first set up. So you'll put in a rule name, description if you want, and then it asks you, when do you want this rule to run? So you can either do it when a record's first created, when a record is created and then every time it's edited at some level, or you could make it run when it's created and any time it's edited to subsequently meet the criteria. So in my case, I chose that option because let's say somebody or maybe a system creates a record and it doesn't have a lead source. The first time we do have one, I want it stamped. So your probably two best options are either just when it's created, as long as you're sure that every record created will have a lead source, or you do this third option. So here are the criteria. You're going to run the rule if the criteria is met. By default, they're all and. And what you're going to want is the lead source to not equal blank. So I want a value in the lead source field. And then for the lead source original equals blank. So I want it to not have a value in that field. I'll activate that, and then what I need to do is add a workflow action. So this is a field update, so you can get to it from here, but I'm just going to click straight into it. And it gives you a couple of options since it's text-based. So you can use a formula to set the new value, which is exactly what we want to do. We want to essentially have the formula pull the value from the lead source field. So if I show the formula editor here, it's actually pretty easy. I can insert a field from like the lead record. So when I did this, I could put in the lead source and then insert. When I do that, since this type is a pick list, I have to put it in this text formula. Okay. So when otherwise it'll error out. It won't like it because it doesn't like taking a pick list value and putting it in text. So I have to take the pick list and make it quote text. So I use this text formula. So text, parentheses, your field of lead source, that's all it needs. And you would save it and then it's ready to go. It's tied to the active workflow rule. So, and that's all you need for that step.